Aaron Rodgers is officially activated off injured reserve. But he's not going to be playing. He's just gotten taken off of IR. He just wants to build up chemistry with his teammates while he's healing his Achilles. Do you think this is the last stunt by Aaron Rodgers in 2023, or we're going to hear from him again?
Well, we got 10 days left, so I assume we'll hear from him again. By the way, I've said enough about Aaron. I've been right at every turn. And this isn't even a classic Category 2 opinion. This is a Category 1 opinion. I was instantly correct, and I've been correct every step of the way. It was one thing. This is more a media commentary. It was one thing for a lot of my colleagues to be credulous about this idea that he was going to play this year. It was on its face ludicrous. You know, shout out, while I criticize other media members, shout out to Melissa Stark and Sunday Night Football for not being credulous. Because if you remember, week 10, he told Melissa Stark his plan was to come back in mid-December to be able to play. And NBC had that information and did not lead the show with it, did not act like it was a breaking news revelation, and they just kind of, as an aside, said it mid-second quarter of the game because they knew this is nonsense. I wish some other local and national media had taken it as nonsense. I'm sure Jets fans wish the front office had taken it as nonsense, and then maybe they would have signed an actual backup quarterback rather than placating Rodgers' ego. But set all that aside, what has been even more maddening is in the last 48 hours, I've got to listen to Ian Rappaport go on NFL Network and say, well, listen, guys, Aaron Rodgers did it. He accomplished what he said he was going to do. No, he bleeping didn't. And the idea that we're now going to say, oh, unprecedented recovery, based on what? You don't think there have been other people who popped their Achilles who, if they wanted to, for a dog and pony show, take off the walking boot early and put on a specialized shoe, they could do it? Of course they could. Now, if they did it, their doctor would then say, what are you doing? But they could do it. You don't think there are other people that 3.5 months in could cosplay backup quarterback at practice? Of course they could. But it would be ridiculous to no positive end and just to be like, look at me, look at me. And it is the fact that now the Jets, this morning, DeMonte, the Jets had to cut a player. Cut him. We have 53 roster spots. Aaron's taking one.
IR?
You're cut.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They had to cut a guy. Now, the media is cleaning this up for Aaron. They're like, oh, he was a vested veteran, so he still gets paid. Great. They still had to cut him. They had to move him down. He will then revert to practice squad, which then you know what that means? Someone on the practice squad gets cut. In service of Aaron Rodgers' ego. This would be like if at Blue Duck, who produces this show, I was like, hey, I'm sorry, Kara, you've got to go because my imaginary friend needs that seat. It's like, huh? Like, no, sorry. No, that seat is taken up by, but it's important to me. My imaginary friend's going to take it. And she's just standing out in the hallway because they're like, we don't want to upset Nick. Like, it's so outrageous. It's just such and I cannot believe there have not, Nora Princiotti called him out on it. I've called him out on it. A few others. There have been others. But some of the real tastemakers in national football media are like, man, bravo, Aaron. And I will say this now for the second time. And people think, I think mistakenly, that a lot of my annoyance with Aaron Rodgers is because of his stance on the vaccine. That is not it. People can have whatever stance they want on vaccines. I'm not trying to have that argument right now. What surprises you?
That surprises me that you're not like on his tail because that's not a big part of you being annoyed with him. Because like him acting, he's also promoting other people to not get the vaccine.
Well, so listen, again, that is in a separate bucket. We can have that discussion. We can have that discussion at a later date or in a different format. Here is, though, what everyone should agree with. Aaron, on the vaccine note, 3 years ago, said, after, misleading everyone and being disingenuous about it, guys, I found an alternative to the vaccine. Same immunization, none of the downstream effects that he felt the vaccine had. Right? That's what he told us. Okay? We now, since then, have learned he considers Big Pharma an evil entity, is challenging Fauci, debate me, bro, all this stuff. Meanwhile, so he clearly believes that at least this specific vaccine was really bad, and there was another way to go about immunity, safety, and health. That's what he told us. Then why have you not told everyone what it is? If I thought that that millions of people were doing something terrible for them, and I had an alternative that was better, and I'm do 1 hour interviews every week, millions of people watch, you know what I might do? Share the data. I might be like, hey guys, here's the thing. Here's what you do. You smoke some peyote, you grind up a sugar pill, you rub it on your forehead, you pray to the God, and this is what you do. Here, it worked for me, let it work for you. So that was the first thing. Now, the second time, he peddled, I solved Achilles injuries. Well, I bet Kirk Cousins would like to know what you did. Poor guy's going to be limping around Christmas morning. All those wonderful kids of his. Give me a break. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.